Welcome, welcome friends. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome to my channel if you're new here for the first time. If you're not sure where you are, my name is Marcy. This is Creator's Call. I like to do videos that play with paper, pertain to journaling, and lately branching out into scrapbooking and into decluttering my craft room. So many things going on, so hopefully you can find something that you really enjoy here on the channel. Today we're returning back to doing some crafting. I am wanting to continue working on Amy's 50 Stack Challenge 4. I'm on weeks 13 and 14, Travel and Garden. It's not really weeks, I shouldn't say that. I'm on the prompts, numbers 13 and 14, because it's going to go for 25 weeks. So there are 2 prompts per week so that we end up with 50, hence the name 50 Stack Challenge. So anyway, I'm on prompts number 13 and 14. She's up to prompts number 21 and 22 this week. Last week, because you're going to see this next week. So in YouTube land, sometimes time gets altered because when I'm recording is not when you're going to actually see it. And so there's always sometimes a delay or things have already happened and gets confusing. Anyway, so today we're working on travel and garden themed ephemera. This is part of the 50 Stack Challenge 4 hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. 25 weeks, 2 prompts per week, and you get to make 1 or 2 pieces of ephemera per prompt. Lately I've been only managing 1, and that's fine. As per usual, I do not have any prototypes. I spent a stupid amount of time looking for some coffee dyed maps that I saw the other day when I cleaned out my bin, and now I can't find them. So I really wanted them for this travel thing, but anyway, we just have to move on because my day is getting derailed. Before we get started, I want to say hello and welcome to Candy, Angie, Sherry, Chandra, and CP. Thank you guys for watching and for leaving comments. I appreciate it, and I am just thrilled to death that you are here. So for my first prompt, travel, I may just make both of these the same and call it good. I'm wanting to make like a little trifold piece, kind of like a booklet, but it's a trifold, and then when you open it up, it has little pockets inside, okay? So this paper is paper that I pulled out last week when I was emptying out some paper pads, and I was just keeping the ones that I wanted. And I saw this, it had the travel theme, and I like the colors. So first thing I'm going to do is cut the paper to the size that I want, and it's already 12 inches wide. So I think I would like these to be about 6 inches tall. Maybe 7, let's go 7. There we go. So let's go 7 inches tall. I just think that's just gonna fit in a journal better. By the time you tuck it into a pocket, it'll probably look better. Then the second thing I want to do, since it's a trifold, I just saw it this morning. I saw somebody else make one, and now I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure she did a trifold. So we want these to be 4 inches wide. All right, so let's just get out the scoreboard. Score these at 4 inches. And then I know that I am folding it exactly where I want it to. I'm gonna score it at 4. Is this right? Hold on, I gotta think, because I'm gonna fold them in 1.5 inches. This is not right. Okay, I'm gonna score it at 1.5 inches because I want to fold in this. Yeah, that's what, I had it all worked out in my mind once today. And then I'm gonna go in 1.5 inches from the other side. So 1/2, 1, 1.5. We're gonna fold in our flap. Okay, now I just want to trifold what is remaining. So I need this, after I folded in the side pieces, I want it at 3. And then I want it at not quite 6 because it's going to overlap. So that ends up being, let's see, I just folded it myself. About 6 1/8. So I did it by hand, so it's lining up at like 6 3/16, but you could do it 6 1/8, even 6 1/4, but that might be too wide. So 6 1/8. All right. If you just want to do all of these at once, I'm going to just mark these for you here so you can see where you're at. You would score at 1 1/2, 4 1/2. This isn't lining up exactly. 7 3/4, basically, or 7 5/8. And then 1.5 inches in, so at 10 1/2. It's not exactly lining up on my scoreboard. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. So anyway, so we're gonna fold in these side flaps, and then it's gonna be a trifold this way. Now we're gonna try that again with this one. So 1.5 inches in. And we're going to go 3 inches over to 4 1/2. And then this one is at roughly 7 5/8. You could even go 7 1/2 if you want, because I really kind of want this to be 3 inches wide. So let's make that 7 1/2. So we have a score line at 4 1/2 and 7 1/2. Oop, and I ripped it. And then over here at 10 1/2. This is very thin paper, and this little tool is a little bit sharp. Okay, so that's how that one looks. And then this one, once we fold in our side panels, this one's probably going to look better. So I'll put those in the description box for you. So if you have to refer back to this video, then it's already in the description box. So these are the final measurements that we like better. So I'm going to write them here. Your scores. I'm going to fold this in a minute, but score at 1 1/2, 4 1/2, 7 1/2, 7 1/2, and 10 1/2. There you go. That's so much easier, isn't it? Okay, so that's where our score lines wind up, and then we're going to fold in the two side flaps, so that'll make a little pocket of 1.5 inches. Now I want to grab a circle punch because I want to punch the little thumb notch in each of these. I'm going to kind of hold these together, figure out where my middle is, and punch once so that I can have my little notches look semi-lined up. This is a very old punch. It's an oldie, but a goodie. It works great. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'll just mark the middle. I feel a little off my game because we've been doing so many decluttering videos that I don't know how to, I'm just kind of off when it comes to doing a crafting video and staying in frame. It's a totally different technique, you know, the way you film. So anyway, it's been kind of fun though, having my face in the camera and looking at you and talking to you and changing up the angles, but it's also sometimes more work. Now we're going to glue the sides, the side flaps, just along here. So these are basically just going to be little ephemera holder thingamabobbies. That's the technical term, ephemera holder thingamabobby, to slide into pockets in your journals. What has everyone been working on this week? I don't know if spring is officially actually here or not. It's March, and usually in March we still get some wintry weather. So it likes to trick us in February and get kind of mild, and then March comes and it's still winter. those people that have recently transplanted to the area, that I'm sure they're confused by this, but those of us who've been here since birth, we understand the process. No surprise here, just it's not spring till March is over. Some years March is really blustery and yucky, and some years it's really nice and mild. You just never know. I am having some hay fever though already. That's no fun. Okay, so I am going to take a sec and erase those marks. And then we won't worry about the fact that I accidentally scored here because I'll put something on the front. I don't know what yet, but I will. Okay, so that's essentially the ephemera holder, right? So that's not hard. Now, we do need to reinforce these. I think I'm going to use washi tape. You can use strips of paper or fabric. Fabric looks neat. All right, here are my washi tapes. I don't know that I have anything necessarily that's travel-y themed, but so I'm probably just gonna try to match the color. This one has postage stamps on it. That might work. Let's see now. And I'm going to reinforce it from the outside, I think. I think that will look better and work better as far as keeping it structurally sound. And then this one right here. A little extra purple there. Now, when I close it up, see how it looks, because I might want something on here. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't know if it would look weird having two on one side and none on the other, but I think it's fine. And I don't really need any in here, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now then, need a focal point. So I have a folder here full of focal points, and if I recall right, I have some that are cut out of an old steamboat book. So let's see if we have anything that pertains to travel. Probably should have thought of that before I before I started this. Essentially, I throw in here any image that looks like it could be used as a focal point. Oh. Now that is not what I was thinking of, but it could kind of tie in with travel, couldn't it? That's Mrs. Cog. And I can trim that one down so it fits. That's kind of an interesting idea. Let's go through all of these. This is another area I haven't gotten to yet in the decluttering frenzy. That's pretty. That's from a book of Monet, but it's really pale. I'm afraid with that gray in the background, it would just look kind of blah. That's a possibility, but only because they're at the beach and there are sailboats. That one says election. I was thinking of something like this because it has the steamship on it, but I don't want it to say election. There's this one too. I've got a lot of gray, don't I? I could stick something behind that though and make it pop out from the gray a little bit, give it some color. These are all roses. Okay, well. Then I did have some stickers, so I'll grab those out instead. I don't have stickers. I thought I had stickers that look like suitcases, but they are books and old-timey cameras and stuff, so not quite what I was thinking of. I have this for a background stamp, which is super cool. Might work for that. I don't know. Anyway, I came back with these rubber stamps. I have two old-timey cars and a hot air balloon. Let's see what we can do. Well, let's start with this lady. And I want to trim her down just a little bit on each side. I don't want to cut off her toes. See, does she fit? She might fit one better than the other because I think this one's a little wider. Yep. So let's put her on here. And then on this one, let's see. I need to stamp on some kind of background or plain paper for that one. Okay. I'm going to put her here, and then I'm going to put this one, I'm going to stamp one of these cars on plain paper. Okay, so this one is a piece of coffee dyed. I think it'll be okay. And I'm going to stamp in black with my VersaFine. I'll grab out my stamp block. This is an older Tim Holtz one. I've had it for a while, so as you know, his products kind of come and go very rapidly, so I don't know that you can find it anymore. Stampers Anonymous. Oops. I'd like to layer it up on a color, though. Some kind of background color. That didn't get all inky. Come on, pick up the ink, please. I recently went through and cleaned out my stamps again. Even though I did that just like a couple of years ago, but some of them have still dried up, basically because of their age, not because there was anything wrong with them. Most of them I've had for quite some time, decades. So not a big surprise that they dried up. How did we do? Kind of lost his bumper. Let's try one more, see if I can get it in a little bit better. I really had no clear-cut plan today other than I wanted to do, the trifold. that was it. That was my big wonderful idea. There we go. That's probably the best one. Okay, I'm gonna tear it. And then I'm thinking maybe since this is gray and I've got the black ink, you know, I could do it like this, couldn't I? That'd be kind of cool. I don't usually put them in there like that, but you could. Yeah, because that's just a little bit wide. Tear that down a bit. I could do it like this, kind of like a travel wallet idea. That'd be cool. Okay, but I was thinking it would be nice to have black or something behind it. I wonder if book page would work. Let's do black. I have some black paper scraps, so that's perfect. I didn't want it too heavy. I'm going to just do a straight edge. I'm going to mark this off and trim it down. And let's give it some ink around the edge. This is Vintage Photo. That's what's handy, so that's what I'm going to do. We have our small group coming over tonight, hopefully. We take turns hosting and teaching, and Last week was our week, and then they canceled at the last minute after I'd gone and gotten snacks and everything else, so I was not real thrilled about that, but it is what it is. So they are supposed to be coming again this week. I mean, I have the month of March, but we might take spring break off next week, and we might take, I know we're gone the last week in March, so we won't be hosting that week. So anyway, I guess that's why it just felt a little frustrating when they canceled at the last minute. Probably, oh, I don't know, like an hour and a half before they were all supposed to come. Yeah. My good friends got to hear me gripe a little bit about it. Thank you for listening. I don't know. It's not that it's not like this is a one-off. This happens frequently. And the last time I was supposed to host everybody in October, I had made like 3.5 dozen mini muffins. Okay, my idea, what I wanted to do, I think I wanted to just put this in the background a little bit. See, this block isn't really big enough for the stamp, but one thing we should make sure of is that it's right side up. So there it is, it is. I'm just wanting it to add like a little texture kind of to the background. I know someone's gonna tell me to put a squishy pad under there. I feel like this crafting mat is kind of squishy, but let's do that. Oh, okay. Stamping technique is definitely needing work. One thing after getting into the junk journals, though, I've realized that the stamping doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It's okay. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of stamping mistakes, and they just go with it. Okay, so this coffee dyed paper was one that had been like a printer test sheet. So now I'm going to use it as kind of a background sheet. All right, let's glue this down. This could probably benefit from some kind of a word focal point. Actually, I like that. I think that's going to look cool with the little bit of washi tape on it. Let's see, when are you guys going to see this? It's not Easter quite yet, but it's coming right up. You guys all have Easter plans? What you guys doing for Easter? We'll be out of town until the day before, and then we actually got invited to someone's house, which was nice. So we will have spent the week with our kids over in Vancouver, and then come back. I haven't hit my mom with the news yet that she's we're not gonna do Easter anything at our house. But you know, she is fully capable of doing it herself. Just saying. She doesn't always have to be me. But she did go and get herself cats. My whole family now is allergic to cats. So she had a cat for a long time. And then when that one died, instead of, I don't know what I thought she should do instead, but she went and got not one more cat, but 2. And I'm like, so you don't have the desire to see your kids or grandkids ever again, apparently. Because I think I put that on there backward. Enjoy the journey. Should we just say that? Is that good enough? Enjoy the journey? Why not? I'll finish cleaning those all off later. Let's put it on this. This is turning out very masculine, but you know, men like to travel too. My stamping technique is just leaving a lot to be desired today, and I'm probably getting my head in the camera because I haven't had to worry about that for a while, so I'm not really in the mindset to avoid it. There we go. Now, where did I put my tear ruler? Should have probably stamped this on that little piece that I had over there, a little scrap already, but oh well. This works too. As I was sorting through all of my coffee dyed paper for backing tags and stuff, I have come to realize that I have plenty, so it's okay if one or two are not, you know, get used up. I get used up more than I want. I really don't have anything super exciting to report because everything has been about the decluttering, although I did, this week I was able to put some stuff out with the trash. Our trash service here has started a new thing just a couple months ago, and so you can schedule a bulky item pickup, which means that if you have things that are oversized and maybe you can't get to the dump because you don't have a way to haul it there, you can schedule bulky item pickup and they'll come pick it up at your house. So I had this old office chair and it was not comfortable and it was coming apart, and we'd replaced it. Actually, Tom replaced it with a freebie from his work. At the same time he got this sit-stand desk, he brought back a chair from his office. They were closing out the Spokane office, so we could all go up and get free office furniture, basically, if we wanted it. And so he came back with a chair that's been a lot more comfortable for him. But anyway, so the other one was already worn out anyway. It's the one that we got 4 years ago for this job. And it's not been the most comfortable. So it's all fallen apart. It's had a nice long life. So I called the bulky item pickup to put it out. And so you have to put everything out either the night before or by 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm not getting up and going out at 7 a.m. putting out my trash by 7 a.m. in my PJs. Anyway, so it's just more convenient to do it the night before, which is when you take out the trash can anyway. So I went and I put it all out, and it was late when I put it out. I put it out around 9 o'clock. And then I had to stack everything, and in case it was windy, I didn't want everything blowing around. So I had the chair, and I had 3 other items, and they keep track of how many items you put out because you get 10 a year for pickup for free. And I went out, well, I was closing up the house and it was around 11, and so I took a glance out there, and somebody had already, you can tell where this is going probably, but they had already gone through my stuff, and the chair was sitting up, just standing up on the sidewalk, and everything else was scattered around. And I had laid the chair down because I didn't want it to roll into the street, you know, and create a problem. And I didn't want to be responsible for any weird random problems like that. So that had me irritated. So I go stomping out there at 11 p.m. to put my stuff back the way it needed to be. And then I went to bed, and I checked again at 12:30, and everything was fine. And then I got up at like 5:30, and I looked again, and somebody had now made off with the chair completely, and my stuff was scattered around the sidewalk again. But anyway, joke's on them because it's not the greatest chair. I was like, oh my gosh, why can't you just... There's a reason why it's in the trash, guys. It has to be somebody that lives in the cul-de-sac or they wouldn't have really seen it. Okay, so there's that one. Not the fanciest thing on the planet, but it'll do. And let's do this one. She's so cute. Let's edge her really fast. So yeah, I got my trash rated. I wasn't really that upset about them rating the trash. I just wanted to, I'm giving it some wrinkles so I can give it a little texture here. It's just that if it was to roll in the street and create a problem, then I'd be the one who was held responsible. So I don't like being held responsible for other people's screw-ups. Call me crazy, I just don't. So that's why I was kind of irritated, but it's like, just leave stuff alone. It's not yours, you know? Anyway, so that's my exciting story of the week. Somebody's raiding my trash. So But I had said I had 4 things to put out, and some of it was like old carpet cutoffs. We got this carpeting 4 years ago, so we still had these pieces that were left over, and I thought I had 2, but I only had 1. So then I put out an old toaster oven that was like on its last legs, and I thought I would use it for drying herbs, but I haven't in the last 2 years. Anyway, so I put out the toaster oven and got that out of my cupboard, sitting in, it was like in the closet. And then, so I put that out because I only had 1 piece of carpet, chair, and then this plastic chair mat that had kind of, the plastic kind of curled up on itself and it was stiff. And so it didn't lay flat anymore, and I didn't want it anymore. It needed to go, but it was like really awkward. It didn't fit in the trash can, so. Oh, 2 pieces there, all right. So anyway, that was all my stuff. So when they took off at the chair, I was like, well, great. Now I only have 3. So I called him in the morning and I was like, somebody made off with one of my items, so I only have 3. But anyway, it's kind of handy though. It's a nice way to get rid of stuff if you don't have a truck or a pickup. You can't make a trip to the dump, you know. Just, it's nice that they have this service now, I gotta say. Okay, that's not, I wish it would show over here, but it's not going to be able to because of how wide this is, so we won't sweat it. I'll just let it be. What I'm going to do here is that. There we go. Yeah, so you guys should check and see if you have something similar in your area. It's through the trash and recycling service at where we are. So I did tell her, the lady on the phone, I was like, I'm really glad you guys have this because it's just nice to not have to make a dump run for 1 or 2 little things, because first we got to drive all the way out there, and then it's $11 minimum. Actually, I think it went up to $15. And minimum charge. And so we have hauled things in our van before. We've hauled things in our pickup, which now we've sold to the son-in-law, so we don't have the pickup. But then we would, you know, if we had a big bunch of stuff to dump, then fine. We would drive out, get the pickup, load it up, drive it to the dump, gas it up for him, to be kind, and then drive back. But that's a lot of driving in one day. That'd be like half a day's job. Anyway, so just nice to be able to put it out with your trash. And then I was like, what else can I put out here? But I don't have anything right now. Okay, there she is. I would like her to have a word too, but I don't have anything. Okay, so for right now, here's my 2 travel little folio things. And then I can tuck journal cards inside. What I wanted to make were some tall tags with a dangly piece, and this is a concept that came from Tracie Fox quite a few years ago, like 5 years ago. They're dangly tags. What I wanted to do was put the black and white on the dangle, so I have to make sure that the dangle is wide enough and the tag is wide enough. So I have plenty of little coffee dyed scraps over here. I thought maybe I could make this the size of the tag, but it might be a little too narrow. So it might be the background, and then I'll make the tags wider. And 2.5 by 6.5, and I think I'd want them more like 3.5 by 6. So these were cut out of a gardening book, and I really love the black and white sketches. So what I want to do is trim these down. Tracie did hers with quotes and things. And then she has another one that she made that used T cards, which I don't have. So I just want to make this narrow enough so that it could be more like a skinny tag dangling from the big tag. You will see in just a moment. I'm going to trim these down. There we go. Okay, so there's that and that. These will be like the title on each of these. Let's paper clip together for a sec. And then I want to trim the tags, so I'm going to trim them 3.5 by 6. Actually, I'm going to go 6.5, and then if it seems too tall, I can make it shorter. Actually, it seems too wide. So when I dangle this from here, yeah, I might want to go 3 by 6.5. Huh, who knew? Okay, now she made a pocket and she decorated it that way. I think what I would like to do is just cover the back. Actually, if I'm going to cover, I want the interesting sides to be the back. So let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so there's that one. Where do I want this one on there? I might want that one with that one. And then for the other one, I really wanted this. So she put pockets on the bottom, and I'm not going to. I am going to use glue stick and then probably go around the edges with wet glue just to make sure it all sticks down. Because as we all know, glue stick is not the most reliable in the long run, but it does give you a nice flat finish when you're gluing. Okay, I like that flower right there. I should line it up from the back. There we go. Somewhere is my bone folder. There it is. So I've been going off and on to help my daughter over in the library where she's working, and but I couldn't go last week. Last week my doggie, I guess this is more news, my doggie had to get her teeth cleaned, which was a big stressful thing, but she also wound up having to have 2 pulled, which was very sad. And anyway, so I had to be available to, first I had to drop her off really early, and then I had to be available for whenever she was done to go pick her up. So she actually, her teeth look really nice, but it's so sad because they pulled her 2 little front teeth in the bottom jaw, 2 little front teeth, which I absolutely loved her little teeth, because she would, you know, sometimes when she'd play growl and show us her little toothers, that's the ones that would show up, and they were so cute. Actually, I'm gonna switch it up because I think this flower and that flower match better. Let's do this one really fast. Anyway, so I'm kind of sad those 2 teeth are gone, because she looks a little bare in front. But overall, I'm glad that her molars and stuff are intact, because I was concerned about how if they had to pull molars and they didn't line up, how that was going to work for chewing, you know, and overall health as she ages. Now the vet assures me that dogs are not like humans, so that when you pull a tooth, the teeth don't shift. So we'll see. Yeah, that was last week. And then this week she's doing this little thing called book tastings. It's kind of like pretending like you're at a cafe, and you have a little fake menu, and on the menu then you walk around and try and look at different books and see which ones interest you, and then you write them down on your menu, and then you just kind of read a little bit. She has some kind of method that they can use to determine how to evaluate if it's a book they might be interested, and the whole point is to get them trying books that are not ones they would normally read. So it's interesting because that particular demographic, the kids are into really spooky stuff, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. What they like to read is very limited. But they like all the ones that are kind of spooky and creepy, but they also like graphic novels a lot. And did you know that fairy tales, there's quite a few of them now in graphic novel style? Anne of Green Gables, I just saw the other day, is a graphic novel. What else? I don't know. It was just I was like, Anne of Green Gables is a graphic novel, as if she wasn't okay the way she is. Anyway, it's like sacrilege. Anyway. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot to bring over my twine. I'm gonna need some. Okay, I'm gonna ink this up really fast. Let's see. I want to round the corners, and so I think I should round corners really fast before I do too much inking. Here we go. And then if I'm gonna round the corners there, I want to round the corners on the tags too. Don't I? Yes, I do. I want to leave a border though. So I guess, let's see, we have to do this just right, because sometimes when the papers are too thin, the punches don't like to punch. So I'm going to do a double layer. Oh, look at that. I miraculously trimmed my corners, or my little tags the exact same width, so I could hold them up together and punch the corners. Okay, so then I want to dangle them on this piece, but I want a little bit of a border. I need a little more at the top than at the bottom. See how that looks. Let's see, it's gonna have one up there in the middle. Okay, that looks good. Those go together, and now this one. Here's my other piece of cardstock. That might be just have a little too much happening on it. Let's use this one. Yeah. Or, I mean, it's like once I lay it down, you can't tell what all the interesting patterns are on the back, so I'll just not worry about that. So yeah, I haven't gone to help Camille, so I'll go help her next week. And then I figured out I only have to go help her like 6 more times. Hallelujah. When I started my fall and winter, I did not expect to be volunteering in a classroom. So that was not on my agenda, not on my radar. And I've been doing it because she's my child. But it's not been, part of it's because I have to drive out to Caldwell, and part of it is because the kids are crazy. I'll tell ya, being in a school post-COVID versus the atmosphere and everything prior. I mean, when I worked and volunteered, just a different atmosphere in the school, and you could tell it's all really different. Plus they use Chromebooks and stuff to do a lot of their work with now that wasn't a thing before. But these kids are wild sometimes. The Friday class, I've switched up the day I go even, because I was like, I can't handle these children. They just drive me insane. Which is why I'm not a teacher. Anyway, so it's going to be nice to have that out of my hair, because it's taking up serious amounts of my time. Yep. So that'll be nice to get that off my plate. And so the last couple of weeks of her work calendar, she won't actually have classes, so I don't have to go help. I have to say, at the beginning, I was really excited to try to learn some more about book repair and stuff. And her training has been virtually non-existent. Nobody came to like actually physically show her how to do this job. She has to send emails. Sometimes they'll send her a video for reference, but it's just kind of, she's flying blind. And I had hoped, as the person to help her get things squared away and organized, because the prior librarian left a huge mess, and I mean piles of books, guys, that were 3 feet tall. Crazy. So there was just a lot that needed to be repaired, and a lot that needed to be processed and entered into the system. I didn't feel like I really got a good handle on everything to be able to help her very well, so it just kind of winds up being whatever she needs help with for the week. But I actually wanted to learn more of the book repair part. But, oh well, didn't. Let's see. So now we are going to punch. We're gonna punch a couple of holes here and a hole in the center, and then this little taggy poo is gonna dangle. Whoops, except that's the top there. That's gonna dangle there. This is gonna dangle here. And then I'm just gonna put these on there as like little label kind of things. Looks good. Actually, I don't know, because this is slick paper, so I'm going to go over it with the ink a little bit, but it may end up just kind of sliding back off. Since the paper's slick, the ink may not. It's not permanent ink anyway, so it may just slide around, you know? Whoops, turn around. It's a good thing I put these on there now, because now I know which way is up. So this here's a little baker's twine kind of a thing. So what I'm going to do is try to identify where I want my little holes to be. So if I go in about 1/2 inch and down, I just want them to be somewhat even. Are they? Nope. It's like when you get your ears pierced and you hope they get the holes lined up right. Okay, there's that. And then there's that one, and that one. So you could be really precise and, you know, do all the measuring and stuff if you want, or you can kind of eyeball everything like I did today. Either way is fine. You do it how you want. Okay, now, this is my little crocodile. Look, it tells you how to use the settings. Hey, it came with the case, but not with the item. Isn't that the goofiest thing ever? But anyway, at least I have the chart now. So I'm gonna just pause it here. You can zoom in for a second and just read it. Yeah, here you go. Let's pick our eyelets, which ones I want to use. I have some little flower ones here, but I don't think the colors are going to work, unfortunately. I do like that one. And I don't think I want white. I could go silver on that one though, because it's lighter. That would be good. Okay. So I need 3 per tag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in there. There's 1 and 3 silver ones. I don't know how loud that's crinkling on camera. Hopefully not too loud. Okay, so I think these are 3/16 eyelets, and I have heard that you can test this out by setting your eyelet in the hole on top. And so if it's a 1/8, it'll fit here, and if it's a 3/16, it'll fit here. And these appear to be 3/16. So for the 3/16 setting, it doesn't have a little washer in the back. Okay, so I want A and 1. How do I know what's what? How do I know where A is? Oh, okay. Let's see. Is that A? That's A. And 1. A1? Can't tell. Wherever you were marked. Oh yeah, barely. I can barely read that. Somehow it's all scratched up, and I would not say that I'm hard on it, but okay, so that's the setting part, but first I need to punch the holes. So if I look at the mark through the viewfinder here and see where my hole is, that's a lot easier to line it up. And then put in the eyelets. I want the shank to go on the base, and this is the top for squishing. Whoop, and it moved on me. Rude. There we go. How'd we do? I think because it moved, that didn't quite catch. So sometimes I do it from both sides just to make sure I get it. There we go. If it seems too thick, you can pound it down some more with a hammer. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I like the shank to, I like this post here, the post here to go through the hole, and then this flatter piece on the back to squish it. Now, maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong, but that's what's working for me. Seems like it's upside down kind of when I do it that way, but maybe not. So satisfying to have that little squishiness there. Okay, so you guys go together there. And now this guy. 3/16 hole. Where are you? So it is marked. If you haven't used one before, it is marked like right here on the black. I don't know that I can get that in a camera shot very well, but just know that. Okay, so there's that one. Went out. Sometimes the little pieces you punch get stuck in there, which is annoying, to say the least. All right. And then also it has an adjuster here, so you can, if you're trying to line things up so they're even, this little bumper here, you can push it forward so that it's less shallow, or you have an extra depth. So it will punch, I think it looks like up to about 1 inch deep onto your paper, which is nice. So it just helps you, if you're trying to really get things evened up and lined up, then it will help you make your eyelets, set them equidistant. There we go, there's that one. Well, these turn out pretty cute. I can't forget that my massage therapist asked me to make her a journal. I checked with her last time I went, and I was like, how soon do you want it? Because I have so many other things happening right at the moment. She's like, anytime, it could be a year. I'm like, well, it won't take me a year, I promise. But thank you for the flexible timetable. Okay, so Tracie took hers. Well, she did them 2 different ways. I kind of like best the way that it hangs when you thread from the back and then go through the back of the tag. This one's a little frayed, so there we go. And then thread through the front. Sorry, I have to lick it. Gross. All right. I need to go get some dinner before people show up. I was gonna roast a chicken today, but I just don't have the time or the interest. I also had an issue with my eye doctor because I got new contacts, and when I put them in to try out the newer ones, my left eye is completely blurry, and I paid good money for these out of my pocket, so need it to work. So anyway, then there's a whole thing with, I called her on Monday. She finally called me back today. She left a message. I called her. When I called, it had some weird message up, and usually you can just, push the option to talk to optical, and not today. They wanted you to leave a message, and then you got this automated text message thing. So weird. And I was like, let's put up all the barriers possible between the patient and the provider so that it is extremely frustrating when there's an actual issue. Like, I've been going there since 2002, and I've never really had a problem till now, but goodness. Anyway, I'm hoping we got that all resolved. She's supposed to call me back tomorrow. Well, my camera shut off unexpectedly. Luckily, you pretty much saw everything, so I went ahead and tied this off, and then I made a little loop-de-loop here. Then I went ahead and tied this one off. At least you got to hear my fascinating story about the eye doctor. Anyhow, so there they are done. The left one hangs a little bit longer than the right one, but that's okay because the tag here on the right one is longer. So I think they turned out pretty cute. What do you guys think? You guys gonna try this? I will link Tracie's video down below. So that's a wrap for today. That's my 2 garden prompts. Here's our makes for the travel prompt. The trifold folio thing, and it'll slide into a pocket. I'm just gonna set it there even though it's sideways. So that fulfills the challenge prompts for number 13 travel and number 14 garden. And next time we'll be working on Poppy and Shabby. And while I was finding stuff for this, I already found some stuff for those. So I was pretty excited about that. So let me know if you guys give this a try. I think there's been really great prompts and pretty low key. It's been really enjoyable to do these. I want to remind you to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, if you found value from the content, and if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly consider subscribing. It really helps out, and then it means that you are alerted every time I upload something, so that's always a bonus. All right, so that is a wrap for this week. Until next time, be inspired, do something creative today, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye now.